Ane Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kwakadash, Yahweh, who the word English calls God, Yahweh Shai, who the word English calls Jesus. When he give a double honor to the apostles, a great millstone, who has taught me this truth, when he give a peace and blessings to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, who teaches truth and risk like to do so. It's going to be a quick video. Low in the video is edifying. Only I can get some from this video. Quick video through the spirit. It's going to be real fast, man. I wanted to grab a couple precepts in Psalms, the 64th chapter, going into the wicked. And if you don't know who the wicked is by now, the wicked is Esau, Edom, which is the so-called white man. Okay, we say so-called because there's nobody white on the planet. They're actually a derivative of red, so they're pink in certain aspects. Certain aspects, these motherfuckers be red, you know what I mean? So, Psalm 64 and 4. Yeah, I was watching the elders, Yeshawamba's video in Dallas, and, this was brought out, and then I went to my notes and remembered the note I had put on it, and I wanted just to make a quick video, basically going off of that, and you got to understand that this devil is not by any means stupid. They're very crafty. They're very wise on the left-hand side, which is no wisdom at all, because it's not going to lead to anything but their own ruin. And if you look at it, right, what you people trust in the so-called white man so much, this nigga can't even run his country. I mean, the country is in trillions, the hundreds of trillions of dollars in debt. You know what I mean? So when you look at that, somebody has been mismanaging something. You know what I mean? When you look at the ways of the world is not established under the law of the Most High, man. It's established under the law of what they wanted to be and what benefit them. Now, you got certain laws in America that protect citizens and all that, but when it comes to laws as far as having righteousness, they don't, these are not things you have to upkeep here underneath this rulership. So that goes and show you that they don't fear the Lord. They don't fear the Lord. They use the Bible, they use their religions, they use certain different things for their own gain and their own power. And if they'll do that with something way more powerful than them, then if that doesn't scream that they're wicked, and I don't know what will. That means they don't fear the Lord. They don't care about consequences or nothing like that. And these people have been ruling in their mind, which they haven't been ruling for long, but in the peon-minded American, in the peon, in the mind of an American, which is, peon-minded, they think that the so-called white man has been in power, and they think it's been a long time. But throughout the course of history, it hasn't really been a long time. But the little time that they have ruled, they have had the earth in shambles, man. You know what I'm saying? And the mind of the people is completely twisted. Okay? Let me grab this real quick. Together, such. So Psalms 50 and 21. Let me turn this truck off so I can make sure God. This is Psalms 50. I'll start up. I will start up. I'll go to 16. Psalms 50 and 16. It says, but unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee? It says, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. And scripture saying, when you go to Proverbs, Proverbs the 4th chapter, it says that they don't go to sleep unless they cause mischief, unless they cause some to fall. Their whole mind is wrapped around evil. Their whole mind is wrapped around destruction. Their whole mind is wrapped around Just things on the left hand side, man. From what they worship, from what they practice, from the things that they do in secrecy, it'll fuck your mind up. You know what I mean? When you go into it and you see the way that these people live and the way that these people, what these people worship, and the plan that these devils have, because they really think that they're going to fulfill their plan, and things are going to go their way. But and that's how prideful they are. But they don't understand that scripture says that they're going to drink of that cup. You know what I mean? And that, that cup is really representing their destruction, representing their downfall, representing them being destroyed. You know what I mean? And the worse this play gets, the closer we are to being in rulership, man. Now, of course, yeah, we got to go through the storm. You know what I'm saying? We got to go through Jacob's trouble. We got to go through, Second Ezra's, the 15th chapter, the 16th chapter, just to say a few scripture chapters. You know what I'm saying? We got to go through it, but the elect is going to get through it. Lord willing, I'm one of those men. You know what I mean? The elect is going to get through it because the Lord is going to carry them through it. You know what I mean? And ultimately, the Lord will be with his men. But 2/3 of our people are going to be caught up in it. You know what I mean? And the ones that's going to be orchestrating it and putting hell, on Jake, which is Esau, eventually they're going to be destroyed. Okay? They're not going to win. They have plans to win. They have certain things set up that they think is going to work in their favor, but they're going to fail miserably. Okay? But the simple fact that they think that they can go against the Most High should tell you what type of person we fucking dealing with here. Okay? A twisted person, man. Okay? The Psalms 50. Hey, I seen the movie, what is it called? The Masked Phone? The first one. I think that's what it's called. And when I don't know if bro's ever seen it, I don't want to spoil it, but you want to see the mind of a so-called white man. When you go into that movie, the dude who was kidnapping the children and destroying them, that's the mind of these Edomites, man. Especially the elite, like your, like the elite, and then your men that you know about, which is Epstein, right? When you go into that, man, I be thinking that these movies be about. I mean, it's safe. It do be about them. It do be about the shit that they do. They show you in these movies how they get down and what they do to children and the people in general, how they come off as dorky and dweeby, and the whole time this is a motherfucking demon. They're wicked, man. Scripture said, never trust thy enemy, for his iron rusted shows his wickedness, man. This nigga was riding around neighborhoods, kidnapping children, and trying to get them to be disobedient so he could torture them, basically. Like, and when I seen the movie, I'm like, who the fuck even came up with this script, man? But they really showing you how they get down on a higher level. So if bros ain't seen that movie, I mean, it's not really a movie but if you want to understand the mind of this devil and the mind of these motherfuckers, movies like that will show you. You know what I'm saying? This what type of person this motherfucker is. This Psalms 50. And it's like, I don't know what it is. This is Psalms 50 and back in 17. It says, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself. Right, because of that silence, right? These heathen, or the wicked, which the heathen, because they're confederate with each other. They're all wicked, they're all evil, right? But they thought you know, that they were getting away with something. Esau thought he was getting away with something, but you're not, right? The accuser of our brethren, like, he does things to put traps and snares in front because he knows, like, he has to keep Jake disconnected. You know what I'm saying? And how do you do that? Keep Jake going off. You know, keep throwing abominations in Jake's face and Jake's soap and, you know what I'm saying, things that, you know, you be eating shit and bathing in shit that you don't even know. This motherfucker has snuck an abomination in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, but the Lord see all that. And that it's not no license and no excuse for you to, oh, well, we eating bad anyway. Because you got niggas that, you know, scriptures say, a wicked man find an excuse to do evil. A wicked man find an excuse to do evil. So you got niggas that are running here that and oh yeah, we might as well just eat the ham. We might as well just eat the nuts. You got to be righteous to the best of your ability. You know what I mean? Read the dietary law and eat what the Lord allow us to eat, not what the hell you want to eat. Eat the food that we're allowed to eat and stay away from the food that we're not supposed to eat. Do the things that we're supposed to do and not the things that we're not supposed to do. Okay? Psalms 50 and 21 again, it says, these things hast thou done, and not kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. And we're being reproved and set in order before the eyes of our enemies. Now consider this, ye that forget the Most High, these sectarian pieces, that there be none to deliver. So the point was in 21. Okay? Let me grab this. This is Psalm 64 and 6. It says, I might get it in the NLT. Yeah, I'm gonna get an NLT. This is Psalm 64 and start at 1. It says, O Most High, listen to my complaint. Protect my life from my enemies' threats. Hide me from the plot of this evil mob, from this gang of wrongdoers. They sharpen their tongues like swords and aim their bitter words like arrows. They shoot from ambush at the innocent, attacking suddenly and fearlessly. Hey, you know who an example of that is Amalek. You know what I'm saying? When we came out of, they was the first, scripture say Amalek was the first of the nations, right? They were the first to war with us. Okay? You know what I mean? Which is, you know, they're Edomites. Okay? And ultimately, who is our number one enemy? Who's the wicked? Who's the wicked that this is talking about? It's talking about Esau. Okay? It says they encourage each other to do evil and plan how to set their traps in secret. It says who will ever notice? They ask. As they plot their crimes, they say we have devised the perfect plan. Yes, the human heart and the mind are cunning. Let me get that in the KJV. It says they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. They're not stupid. Okay? They're not from all the way down how they design shoes. Something as simple as a fucking shoe. They design it in a way where your arm should be you got to go to them for some type of relief, some type of something. Everything they do from concrete, and this is just simple things, concrete everywhere you are, that shit bad for your joints, right? How they make things, you know, the air pollution, you know what I mean? Again, the food, you know, the mixed fabrics, they are completely adverse. They're completely against righteousness, man. There's not a righteous a bone in their body. They're made to do evil. They're made to be wicked. So that's what the fuck they gonna do. Okay, but it's a punishment for that. It's destruction for that. Scripture said there should be no more remaining of the house of Esau. Scripture said Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. Okay? So all you niggas teaching that the Lord came from everybody for everybody. And it's no. All Israel not even gonna make it on this side. Only the elect and the 1/3 will. So what the fuck you talking about the heathen can make it? Stop it. How? They will be destroyed, man. Esau is going to be destroyed. And the rest of you, after a period of time, and the rest of you nations will be servants unto us, like you're supposed to be. Okay? Y'all need somebody to rule over y'all. Look how the world is, man. No management. No none of that. Just lawlessness. Psalm 64 and 6. It says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Right? Their mind is deep. You know what I mean? When they go, like, again, all the examples I was just naming. You know what I'm saying? Like, from the water you drink is polluted, man. You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, it's like it. But at the end of the day, the Lord is going to make things right. The Lord is going to punish our enemies, man. Right? The Lord is going to deliver Jake. I'm going to read that in Isaiah 14. It's Isaiah 14:1. It says, for the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh for servants and handmaids. So we're going to have these nations for servants and handmaids, right, which are slaves. It says, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Who oppressed Jake? Right? When you go to Psalms 84, let's just get it real quick. In Psalms 84, or it's like 83. And 2, it says, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Right? They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Right? We are the hidden ones. Okay? They have taken crafty counsel against us. Okay? Part of that crafty counsel was keeping us at the bottom. Part of that crafty counsel was putting us into captivity. Okay? They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. You got to actually hate a nation to even have that thought in your mind to want to cut them off from being a nation. And what's the process of doing that? Right? Stripping them from their law, statutes, and commandments, feeding them lies, feeding them religion, feeding them bullshit. Okay? Taking their names away from them and replacing the true biblical names, putting that covering cast. Right? As the scriptures say. Right? African American, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Native American, Mexican, Dominican. You know what I'm saying? All these different names instead of the true biblical names. And that was just a few, It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And it names our enemies, which are the heathen. The first one it names is Edom, which is a so-called white man. All the tribes of Edom, right? They all against Jake, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to come a time where you guys will be in captivity. You guys will eventually be destroyed and extinct. That's how evil and wicked y'all is, man. The scriptures say after Alexander the creep died and his generals were set up, evils multiplied throughout the earth. And they were Edomites. Okay, Numbers 24. What'd that tell you? Okay, Numbers 24 and 17. It says, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. Okay, and it's talking about the Lord, right? 20, it says, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable, and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. And Esau is going to perish forever. Okay, there should be no more remaining of the house of Esau. Okay, it says, and Edom shall be a possession. You know what I mean? So it's coming a time where all you nations, because when you go to Isaiah 60, it says, the stranger shall build up thy walls, right? It was Isaiah 60 and 10. So all you nations will be in captivity underneath the true biblical Israelites, which is the so-called black man, Native American man, Latino man. Okay? So with that, man, Lord, video is edifying. Lord, I can got something from this video. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakadash, and let's keep pushing on to the next. Shalom.